Hello friends, I welcome you all to today's session of English. I was thinking that after so many sessions of grammar topics as well as a story session, what can be done today? And I thought, what about doing an assignment? So, let us begin with an assignment in today's session. Before I start the reading section of the assignment, I wish all of you to go through this story. So, enjoy the story first.
One day, Emperor Akbar and Birbal were taking a walk in the palace gardens. It was a nice summer morning and there were plenty of crows happily playing around the pond. While watching the crows, a question came to Akbar's mind. He wondered,
how many crows in the kingdom?
Since Birbal was accompanying him, he asked Birbal this question. After a moment's thought, Birbal replied,
There are 95,463 crows in the kingdom.
Amazed by his quick response, Akbar tried to test him again.
What if there are more crows than you answered?
Without hesitating, Birbal replied,
If there are more crows, then some crows are visiting from other neighboring kingdoms. And what if there are less crows?
Akbar asked. Birbal smiled.
Then some crows from our kingdom have gone on holiday to other places.
Moral, a wise man always wins.
So friends, how did you like the story? I'm sure it must have been a fun experience for you all. Let us carry on with our session. Now, I would like all of you to concentrate on the reading section. What do you mean by reading section? Reading section is where a passage or a story or sometimes a paragraph is given and you have to read it, and then on the basis of our reading we try and attempt the questions given in it. So are you ready? Very good. Let us start. Read the passage carefully. Remember the story in the background in your mind, so that you enjoy going through the passage as well. One day, Akbar was walking in his palace gardens with his dear minister Birbal. So if I ask you, who was walking? Yes, Akbar was walking. And where was he walking? You're right. He was walking in his palace gardens. Who was with Akbar? Yes, it is given in this sentence. His dear minister Birbal was with him. Now let us move further. Many crows were flying around. The king enjoyed their flying. So, who were flying in the sky? Yes, many crows. And how did the King Akbar feel while watching the crows flying? You're right, it's clearly seen. The king enjoyed their flying. Just then, he thought that how many crows could be in his kingdom and immediately asked this question to Birbal. So can you understand what came to the mind of the king? Yes, he wondered. Wondered means thought that how many crows could be there. And so he asked this question to his minister who was walking with him. Birbal thought for a moment, then said, "There are 95,463 crows in your kingdom, Huzur." So, Birbal had given a figure about the number of crows in the kingdom. Friends, whenever we read any passage, we should understand every sentence and try and ask ourselves similar kind of questions as I have posed to you. That is the way to understand the passage and increase our comprehension abilities. Alright? So if I read out the paragraph in one go to you, it will sound like this. One day, Akbar was walking in his palace gardens with his dear minister Birbal. Many crows were flying around. The king enjoyed their flying. Just then he thought that how many crows could be in his kingdom and immediately asked this question to Birbal. Birbal thought for a moment, then said, "There are 95,463 crows in your kingdom, Huzur." So friends, if you observe, reading a passage not only improves our comprehension abilities but also our reading abilities. So now let us move further. "How do you know that for sure?" the king asked. "You can get them counted, Huzur," Birbal said. The king again said, "If there will be fewer than that, then?" Birbal replied immediately, "It means that the rest of them have gone on vacation to some neighboring kingdoms." So now I have read out the paragraph to you. Let us understand each sentence because that is the meaning of comprehending a passage, a story, or a text. The king asked, "How do you know that for sure?" What was the king asking about? Yes, in the previous slide, it was there. When Birbal figured out a number to the king, he mentioned the number, remember? So when Birbal quoted a number to the king, then the king asked that how do you know that for sure? Friends, who is you here? Yes, you got it right. You here is Birbal because the king was talking to Birbal. And then let us see what is in the next sentence. Birbal said, "You can get them counted, Huzur." So Birbal very cleverly answered that Huzur. Now who is Huzur over here? Yes, Huzur is being addressed to the king. So Birbal said that you can get them counted. You here, yeah, you're right. You here symbolizes the king. It is referred to king. The king again said, "If there will be fewer than that, then?" Now in this sentence, there are two then. You should understand THAN. This than is used to compare the situations. Alright? So the king asked, what about if there will be fewer than that? That here responds to the number which was quoted by Birbal. Okay? So the king meant to say that what will you do if your number of crows is less than what you said? Now Birbal replied immediately. What do you mean by replied? Replied means answered. What is the meaning of the word immediately? Yes, immediately means at once. So Birbal at once answered to the question asked by the king that it means that the rest of them. Who is rest of them? Yes, the crows. So he said, the crows have gone on vacation. Vacation means holiday to some neighboring kingdoms. Neighboring, you understand? People who live around us, just like we all have neighborhood, right? So in the same way. So Birbal answered that if there will be less crows, that means the rest of the crows must have gone on holiday. Are you clear with this much? Try and recall the story, the animated video which you have just seen. You can even watch it again for better comprehension. Alright? Let us move further and see what is happening in the story now. Or if there were more than that, then asked the king. Then that means that other crows are visiting your kingdom, Huzur, replied Birbal. Akbar was very pleased with this answer to his question. So what is happening in this paragraph? The king asked that if the crows were lesser than the number given by Birbal, then what would that mean? To which Birbal had replied that that means the crows have gone to their neighboring kingdoms. Now, in this text, the king asked again that if there were more than that number which Birbal had given, then what would he meant? So Birbal answered that if there were more crows than the number given by Birbal, that would mean that other crows are visiting your kingdom. That is, the other crows must have come from some other kingdom. So this is the way he answered the question. Now Akbar was very pleased. Pleased means happy. Okay? So while you read the text, try and understand every sentence very clearly. That will help you to do the question answers which are always given at the end of a passage easily. Alright? Let us move next. Now, there are question answers. Write true or false for the following statements. One day, Emperor Akbar saw many parrots around the pond. Now for this, you should have clear understanding about your story and you can refer to the text given previously in the previous slides. Alright? So now Emperor Akbar saw many parrots around the pond. There are two information that Emperor Akbar saw. Then what did he see? parrots? And where did he see? Around the pond. So you have to see that all the three information are correct, then write a true. If any of the information is wrong, then write false for this statement. Am I clear? So you have to decide, were there parrots? Were they around the pond or not? Okay? Now let us come to number 2. Akbar wanted to know how many crows were in his kingdom. Now again, understand the sentence in parts. Akbar wanted to know. So was it Akbar who wanted? Okay, then you should focus how many crows were in his kingdom. If it was Akbar who wanted to know, then what did he want to know? Did he want to know about the crows in his kingdom? So verify these two information from the text given in the previous slides and then try and attempt. If both the things are correct, that it was Akbar only who wanted to know and he wanted to know about the crows in his kingdom, then you can write true. If any of the information is wrong, then it will be a false for this statement. Alright, let us see what is there in number 3. Birbal told Akbar there were 9,000 crows in his kingdom. Now let us see in parts. Birbal told Akbar. So was it Birbal only who told Akbar? If you think it's correct, then we are done with one information. Then if Birbal told Akbar there were 9,000 crows, now you have to see the figure which was given in the story. Was it 9,000 crows or was it different? So again, verify these information from your story and then if you think Birbal only told Akbar and he told about the crows and the figure was 9,000, then you may write it true. And if you think it's wrong, any of the information is incorrect, then it should be a false for this statement. Alright? Now number 4 is Akbar was upset with Birbal's answer. Now this, again, try and gather the information that Akbar was upset or was there something else with Birbal's answer. So you have to see that what happened in the story. Class, always try and understand that as our story moves, the same way our questions move. Okay? So when you come towards the end, then go towards the end of the story to find your answer. At times, it happens that the answer which is asked at the last is found at the end of your text. Okay? So go through your story to answer all these statements and write true completely, T-R-U-E. And if you write false, write it fully, F-A-L-S-E. Okay? Now let us move further. Did Birbal really count the crows? Now again, see your story and then write your answer. Now class, when we write complete answers, we have to see the verbs. It's very important that we construct the sentences correctly and we use the verbs in the proper tense forms in which it is asked. What do you mean by this? I'll explain. The question is, did Birbal? We have the helping verb here, did. Now, did is a helping verb used in past tense. So, we should remember that we have to change our verb into past tense. Alright? What is the verb in this sentence? Can you guess it? Yes, you're right. Count is our verb. So as I mentioned, when you will write your answer, it should be properly constructed. Now what does that mean? That your subject should come in the start. Your verb should be in relation to the tense mentioned. So here the question is, did Birbal really count? So what is the subject? Yes, the subject is Birbal. So our answer should start with Birbal. And then if you think he counted rightly, then you should write Birbal really counted. Remember to change because did is the past tense. But if you are writing in negative, if you think your answer is negative, then the verb will not change. Remember this thing always. When we are writing the negative form of sentence using a past tense, we do not change our verb. The verb is first form only. So if you're writing, if you think the answer is no to this question, then it should be written Birbal did not really count. Okay? So now that you have to see on the basis of understanding of your story. If it is a yes, change the verb in past tense. If it is a no, the verb will come as first form only. Now let us proceed to question C. According to Birbal, if there were fewer crows, what does that mean? Now this text was as it is given in your story. So you should pick up the information from there and try and answer this. According to Birbal, if there were fewer crows, what does that mean? Remember, Birbal quoted a reason for it. So again, refer your story and try and attempt the question. Please remember to write the answers complete way, okay? With proper sentence construction and with proper verb forms and punctuation. Remember that questions end in question marks, whereas answers end in full stop. Alright, let us see the next set of questions. Find the words from the passage that mean the same as. Now you remember that same as means synonyms. I have shared the words that mean these things. So if you have heard, if you have listened to me properly, you should not find any problem. Again, refer to your story, read it, try and gather the meaning and then find out the word from the passage. At once, you have to pick up one word with the meaning of that word should be at once. Happy? Again, you have to pick up one word. The meaning of that word should be happy. Okay? Then your question E, make a sentence with kingdom. You have to use this word in your own sentence and try not to copy the sentence given in the story. Okay? This word you can use anywhere in your sentence, be it starting or the middle or at the ending. Fine? But remember, if it comes in the middle or the end part, then kingdom K should be small because it is a common noun. If you're starting the sentence with it, then it should be capital because we always start with capital letter. At the end, there should be a full stop. Please take care of punctuation marks. Students, reading section is the best medium to enhance your vocabulary skills. It helps you to take care to revise all your punctuation. And of course, comprehension allows, it develops your understanding, your ability to get the meaning out of a text. And when you answering a question itself needs the usage of proper grammar, proper words, proper sentence construction. So, enjoy doing this reading section, and again, you can refer back to the animated version of the story that I have shared in this video. Please go through the text again. Have a happy reading section comprehension ability. I extend my thanks to you to watch this video, and I sincerely hope that this video must have proved beneficial to you in terms of your learning and in terms of improving your comprehension abilities. Alright? See you till the next session. Have fun, keep learning, watch the videos, enjoy this learning process. Thank you.